One thing I can tell you this: it never fails at United. There's always gonna be drama. All right, it's always gonna be drama. All right. So listen, if you're looking for drama, United is the place you need to be. Right? United is the place you need to be, because we are always gonna provide drama for you. And today is not anything different. Right? Today we're talking about the whole Giovanni Quenda deal, right? Everybody and their mother, when it comes to these reporters, pundits, you name it, they were talking about United has been scouting Quenda, Giovanni Quenda, right? Obviously, Ruben Amorim coming to United. Everybody, man, has been talking about this kid, following him at United, right? So they scouted him. Everything looked like it was going well. But you see, the difference is, one thing I gotta say about Chelsea, all right? With Chelsea and most of these other clubs, they operate in the shadows, right? They operate in the shadows. But United, the difference is, we like to put our business all out there for the world to see, right? So when you put your business out there, people know who you're going for. And hey, listen, if United is going for somebody, it means that you must be a legit baller. So yeah. So maybe lesson to learn here is for us to keep this type of information private or secretive, because honestly, what Chelsea did yesterday, whatever they did it, when of course last night or at 5 a.m, Fabrizio Romano time, when he dropped the bomber, it was something that nobody, even David Ornstein, the main man himself, when it comes to bombers, Ornstein is that guy, right? That's the guy that we always look for. Ornstein did not have information on this, right? So it dropped in very, depending on where you are around the world, it was one of those, it was early kind of joints, right? And nobody expected it. But it's one of those that you're like, whoa, how and why and what is going on? What? Nobody expected it. Nobody expected it, but it did. All right. So imagine this: Manchester United thinking they've got a teenage superstar locked down. Then, bam, Chelsea storms in like a thief in the night and rips Giovanni Quenda right out of their hands. Welcome to the wildest transfer heist of 2025. Listen, and United fans, you may want to basically, you may want to look away, because honestly, for all of us, it has been painful. He was our guy. He is the guy that we were all like, yo, man, this is going to be our solution to the right-hand side, right? What a heist. So, who is Quenda? He's a Sporting player, 17-year-old Portuguese winger, all right? Lightning fast, silky skills, and already a nightmare for defenders. The kid set up a goal in Sporting in a 4-1 demolition of Man City in the Champions League. Portugal's boss, Martinez, can't stop gushing, saying that he's got personality, quality, technical ability that's unreal at 17 years old. He is a real deal. That's what Chelsea got. And that is what we were supposed to be getting. Because listen, Ruben Amorim gave him his debut, people. Ruben Amorim gave this kid his debut. All right. So, I mean, it's mad. It's mad, right? Manchester United were all over this, right? Ruben Amorim obviously coached Quenda into basically coached him into the first team, right? Where obviously before he jumped, Ruben Amorim went to Old Trafford. They knew that. Listen, the next logical move for Quenda is to follow the boss to Old Trafford. And they did work on the deal. They were working on the deal, man. They worked on the deal in the January transfer window. Right? They worked on the deal in the January transfer window. But there were some complications, right? This is obviously this information is basically now Fabrizio Romano giving us an update or the breakdown on what happened. How did this whole thing happen? Right? It's crazy. But anyway, before we get on it, people smash those likes, hit the subscribe if you haven't done so already. Mika VR, what's up? Welcome. Johnny George, hello. Southgate, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Sam Houston in the house. Hello. I'm so heartbroken for losing Quenda, man. Dude, you cannot imagine me at 3 a.m. Right? I'm a night owl, right? So I'm sitting there, I'm about to go to bed. I say, hey, let me check what X has. And I see this, dude, devastated. I was devastated, man. I was like, Chelsea. They have done it again. Because listen, Chelsea, they've done serious football teams. That's how they operate, in the shadows. United, we like to broadcast our stuff. Liverpool, Chelsea, even Arsenal, you never know who's they're going for. But with us, everybody and their mother knows, right? So Chelsea knew according to Fabrizio, Chelsea knew we were going for Quenda, right? They knew it. So they were like, all right, we're going to make a deal. And according to Fabrizio, Man United only had, because of PSR situation, and of course we were broke, we only had like 35 million to spend in January, right? So we approached Sporting, say, okay, this is our offer, blah, 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 right? People, smash that like, man. If you haven't done so already, what are you doing? Smash that like, hit the subscribe, all right? I appreciate you doing that. I am Luther. This is Man United Central. I appreciate you being here. Bro, you got to bed at 2. Yeah, man, dude, the Southgate, I'm that kind of guy, man. I'm usually up pretty late and figuring stuff out, I always have stuff to do. So yeah, I'm what you will call like a night owl. But anyway, before we continue, guys, salute. I got my bubbly here. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much. It's Friday, so salute. Rare. So yeah, so Chelsea knew that we were going for this kid, but also Chelsea knew that we were broke. All right. Chelsea asked Sporting, I guess, how much United offered. We only offered 35. That's in the January transfer window, right? We offered 35 for this kid. Now, Chelsea came in, and obviously they offered, I think their offer was close to 50 or something like that, right? But another issue that we had, which from this article that I'm reading, it's going to get to, is Chelsea, because they have 100 players, they have like Chelsea has like freaking like 3 squads they can use, right? Chelsea, they were okay with letting Quenda stay at Sporting for another season. And if you think about that, it was one of those like, Sporting, they'll be more okay with that kind of thing, because they felt like, okay, another season at Sporting, it'll be really good for the team, right? Whereas United, we wanted Quenda now, today, right? He would leave, and in the summer he will be our player. If we were able to get him in January, it would have been that would have been the case. So when the negotiations were going on, and Sporting said, hey, no, we're not gonna take 35 million for Quenda, So what did United do? The United say, okay, cool. Okay, we're gonna back off, and then we're gonna come in the summer and try again, right? But again, you see, whenever these transfer situations are happening, nobody's gonna sit there and wait for you to count your money and see if you're gonna have enough money. United, we're broke. In order for us to even put more money on Quenda, we needed to sell some people. So it means that it's not even going to happen in June when the market opens. It's going to be one of those, like it could be in July or something like that, because we are broke. There you go. You're catching up. We're broke. So yeah. So what the Chelsea comes in and say, hey, listen, here's your money that you wanted, 50, cool. And you wanted to keep Quenda? Oh, no problem. Yeah, keep him. We can pick him up in 2026, right? No problem at all. Happy days. Sporting gets their guy. They can keep him for another season. Chelsea don't need him now because they have a freaking, I don't know, 100 wingers and all this stuff. And also, there was another key point. According to David Ornstein, this was crucial too. Giovanni Quenda, he wanted to operate more as a winger, straight up winger, not a wing back, a winger. So what happened is, if he came to United with his old boss, Ruben Amorim, obviously that's how he's going to operate him. He's going to operate him as a right wing back. He doesn't want to play as a wing back. He wants to operate as a winger, one-on-one, taking on players and causing havoc. And he can do that, right? He can do that. So, but if he came to United, wing back. If he sticks with Chelsea, as a winger. And Chelsea made sure they involved Maresca in the deal. So Maresca was like, listen, the way I see this team forming, I'll be gladly to take Quenda and operate him as a winger, not as a wing back, right? Of course, that it kind of resonated with Quenda, So basically, Quenda is getting what he wants to play as a winger, not as a wing back. I guess, dude, I can understand that whole deal of bombing back and forth, in defending and all this stuff. It's no joke, right? The kid probably, he just wants to be, listen, I can take some of these defenders, man. I can cause havoc up top. So, if I can be, if the defending part of it can be eliminated from me, if need be, I can defend, but it should not be one of my primary objective or one of my primary, whenever you sign for a job, your requirements is you take defending and all this stuff, like Dogu. Dogu's primary objective is defending, right? But of course, you are also going to be attacking, right? But Quenda was like, listen, as I'm growing, I'm still young, I'm 17. As I'm growing, I want to be more as a winger, less defending. Somebody else can do that job, right? So, hey, do you blame the kid? No. Chelsea, tick, okayed everything. Say, listen, you can be a winger, man. We're good with that. Again, Sporting gets their idea to keep Quenda for another season, and it's happy days. What up, people? Okay, I had to yell at my kid to tell him to listen. He knows better. When daddy's live, he needs to close his door and keep it down. This guy is over there having a complete conversation. So if you had a kid in the background, yeah, that's my guy, my man, my ace, the man of the house, right? But yeah, so that's how Chelsea was able to scoop the kid. We lost out because we could not. We needed Quenda now. We couldn't get him now, so it is what it is. We're back to the drawing board. Let me know, guys, how you feeling, man. I know it is one of those things that is pretty. it's a sad state of affairs because Giovanni Quenda was one of those guys. I mean, everybody, man. All Ornstein, everybody. Ornstein had reported many times that listen, United have already started talking to this guy. Like when we had that terrible January transfer window, they were like, listen, the window, it didn't go whatever because United have plans for the summer. We're going to go for Quenda and all this stuff, right? So it was already in there. These were reputable reporters reporting about United going for Quenda. So it's not something that, it wasn't reported, all right? So basically, listen, the report here is saying that Chelsea, with the stealth of a spy flick today, March 14th, Fabrizio Romano hits us with a Chelsea agree a deal for Quenda. Here we go. No leaks, no warning. They have been plotting in the shadows. All right. They sealed it with Sporting with a 45 to 50 million deal. All right. And Quenda already passed the medical. All right. He's going to be a Chelsea player in July of 2026 on a 7-year deal. Right. That's a 7-year deal. That is crazy. I don't think United have offered anybody a 7-year deal. All right. So it's pretty crazy. Let's see. No Rich. What's going on, man? 22 Indian. Let's see. 22 Indian. I don't see True Indian. I don't see True Indian in here, man. Matt Chelsea got their hands on Quenda. Yeah, man, that's crazy, man. He would have been a really good addition for us, right? He would definitely be a good addition for us, but it's one of those, man. It's frustrating, but again, we only had 35 million to spend in the January window, and it's one of those, like most of these players. That's basically right. This what we experience now is what we're gonna experience in the summer. In order for us to make any moves, we need to sell. Right? We gotta sell to buy. If we don't sell, we're not gonna buy. That means the transfer window is gonna go on, especially for us, as we're trying to bring in these weapons. It's gonna take a while, right? It's gonna take a while, it's gonna be frustrating for a lot of us because we cannot just go in there and just pull the trigger. Right, we need the books to balance. Right, somebody needs to leave, and the money needs to be kind of okay, and then to execute the deal. So it definitely going to be kind of frustrating. So how did United blow the deal? 2 words: timing and tactics. That is how we blew the deal. Timing and tactics. Romano said that United wanted him this summer, but Chelsea said nah. We can wait a year. United needed him in the Amorim system, 3-4-3. Now, Chelsea stacked with their guns and said, listen, we're good. We have Esteval William, all right, and Kendry Perez, all right. So they didn't need him now. So you see what Chelsea is doing is they are basically doing kind of thing that we are doing, trying to bring all these young players in the system. You stack your deck, right, with talent. That's what they're doing. If they see a talent out there, they go for it. But it's one of those things that kind of I feel jealous for Chelsea, right? Because with Todd Bowley and them, he doesn't need much convincing, I guess, right? If somebody tells him, okay, cool, he's the guy we need to get, he execute, let's get him. With us, negotiation. Of course, they do not have our usual, some of the PSR issues that we have, right? So they can do that. But, it's one of those you can kind of appreciate what Chelsea's owner, he's all about. Right, he's all about executing things quickly. No reason to wait. If we see something we like, we get it. Especially with these young players. So I mean, it's one of those that's pretty crazy. So Chelsea stacked with young guns. Of course, we saw that. So David Ornstein says Chelsea see him as a pure winger. All right, which made him obviously Quenda's happy with that, right? While United were trying to get him as a wingback. Okay, again, big problem. The man doesn't want to be a wingback. All right. Southgate. I know Chelsea has a whole bunch of players, man. They have a whole bunch of players. That's why they can come in a season before and all this stuff, sign players and be okay to throw him out there and keep him playing at Sporting, right? Whereas we don't have that luxury at United. We need these players now, right? And obviously the kid is still young, and Sporting still could use him. So it kind of worked out for everybody, right? Chelsea paid more money. The kid can still stay at Sporting. Chelsea can deal with him in 2026. It's one of those. So it's been tough, right? It's been tough for United, and it's one of those things that you're like, okay, what can you do? And we should expect this kind of setbacks and issues, because most of the teams that we're going to be going up against in the summer when it comes to acquiring players, it's going to be like that. Most of these teams, they don't have issues like the ones we have, right? They don't have issues that one we have. Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, Aston Villa, Newcastle. They don't have maybe Newcastle may have a little bit of PSR issues, but all these other ones, they can make moves, right? They can make moves. But for us, yeah, those 8 players that we're trying to offload, yeah, we need to offload them if we can actually afford to bring anybody in. Anthony, Rashford, those guys, right? We got to offload them, because if we do, then we can actually afford to bring anybody in. If we don't make any moves outgoing, of course, Ericsson is going to be free. Contract is over. Lindelof, over contract. Heaton, again, contract is over. Johnny Evans, contract is over. 4 players leaving, we're not getting any money in. The only thing we're going to be benefiting from is the salary, right? Of course, Casemiro, I don't see anybody coming for Casemiro, right? Who else? Anthony. Hopefully, Real Betis, they're serious about Anthony. They can come and show us the money, right? Another one, Rashford. Dude, big up to Rashford, man. Rashford, he's doing his thing, because you know what? When you are actually doing the right moves and you're making the right moves, you get rewarded. Norwich, all right? So whenever you're making the right things, you're not spamming the thing, Norwich, you're not doing all these things, you get rewarded, right? So stuff like that. Rashford has been playing well. Assists and all that. He hasn't scored, but it looks like he has something. All right. All right. It looks like he's played well, right? And he was rewarded with a place in the England national team. That is huge for Rashford, right? And honestly, if he was at United, he would not be called for the England national team. But Rashford went out there, did his thing, and he was called for United national team. What time you out? Right? So those kind of things. So, which we like to see, because we want to get rid of those guys, right? They're not part of our plans. We want to get rid of them. All right. But of course, this news today with Ruben Amorim and Quenda, I am sure. Obviously, I don't think Ruben Amorim knew about it, so I can imagine him waking up. I don't know if he reads the paper or one of his recruitment managers hit him up and say, "Yo, listen, boss, I got some news." Ruben is like, "Tell me, what is it?" "Yeah, Quenda. Yeah, he's going to Chelsea." I can only imagine how pissed off he was, because all the news, everybody, they knew this was his guy. This is what he wanted. This was his solution to the right-hand side. It was his solution. So, yeah, I'm sure my man here, Amorim, he would not have been a happy camper early mornings in the UK, right? So it's one of those. But, yeah, we're going to have to look for other targets. I'm sure we have other targets, but according to reports, I need to find that report though. Apparently, United may not really prioritize the right wing back as a priority position to cover in this window, right? Right. So let me see if I can find that report. I think it was from Ornstein. Let's see. I'm trying to find it. Ornstein saying Marcus Rashford set to earn England recall. Yeah, we saw that. Yeah, I'm trying to find out that actual article, but basically it's like the article is saying that with United, they're going to sign players. We're going to sign quite a few players. All right, maybe more than 4, but the players we're going to sign, priority is not going to be put on the right wing back situation. Right now, that could very well be the issue because we got to remember we got this kid Diogo Leon coming in. Diogo Leon is going to be with the team on in the summer tour, whatever, right? Preseason. So he's going to join the team by then. Now we on that right wing back situation, we have someone who has really performed amazingly in Amad Diallo. So if you think about it, Amad Diallo can actually perform as a wing back. That has been proven. That's one. Another one who can perform on that right hand side, Dogu. Dogu can play either side, right? So you got Dogu. Because now if you bring in Diogo Leon can cover that left wing back situation, right? He can cover that. So Diogo Leon covers that left wing back, and then Dogu can go on the right hand side because he can operate either way. Or you have Amad Diallo who can do that job too. You have another solution in Mazraoui can also cover that side. So we do have solutions, but we need a permanent one, right? Someone who's going to make that side their own, right? Now it could very well be Kirkes, but Kirkes is one of those that is going to cost us maybe 50 million, right? And that's money we don't have, right? That's money we don't have. So that's why according to this report, it said, listen, they may as well not really prioritize that right hand side because we do have some kind of solutions. We have, of course, Dalot on that right hand side. I don't think Dalot is going anywhere, right? So not really a priority. Left, yes, because Luke Shaw not dependable. Malacia, maybe he's gonna be gone, right? So we do have problems on the left hand side. But on the right hand side, we do have some kind of solutions we can use to kind of buy us time until maybe January or whatever, right? So it's one of those. Does it suck that we couldn't get Quenda? Yeah, man. I mean, he was part of a lot of our teams, knowing that this kid is gonna light it up on that right hand side. But you know what? That's how life is, man. Whenever you think things are gonna go a certain way, you get a curveball. So you just have to deal with it. You know what I mean? You just have to deal with it. So yeah. So the news today was pretty crazy, but also it shows that I wish United could operate in the shadows like Chelsea. Chelsea have done this many times. So it's nothing new. All right, because they do have a proper team who know what they're doing, who know the targets and how they can execute on the down low. That way nobody knows. But anybody goes from United, everybody's gonna know. And listen, it sucks. That is the price we pay for being the biggest club in England, right? Or in the world. So people know your business. But I think there's some things you can do to make sure people just they have no idea what you're gonna do. Right, you have to do that. So yeah, so Quenda's gone. So maybe we may go for Kirkes from Bournemouth, but again, pricey. We shall see. Or we see people talking about Kubo, right? That could be another one. But guys, listen, in the chat, let us know who would you rather, be instead of Quenda. Who would you want to United to sign, man? Let us know in the chat. Drop it in the chat if you have an idea. Or say, listen, United, this is the guy that you need to get. All right, drop it in the chat. Let us know. All right, because some of you guys are pretty good scouts. All right. Norwich is saying Tony, true Indian. Okay, yeah. So it's one of those, but it's been one of a crazy day. But if we sit back and kind of review the week has been interesting, man. We played Chelsea, we drew, and then next thing we hear about, there was a protest happening, right? Which was amazing to see the Manchester United family stepping out and showing their dislike, disdain, pissed offness when it comes to the Glazers. All right, they stepped out big, which is good because they were representing all of us around the world who could not make it. So that was good. And then next thing, boom, we get a Sir Jim Ratcliffe's interview, giving us the background scene of what was happening. And then boom, the next day we get the stadium, which will be a theater of dreams, not a theater of horrors or circus of nightmares. I don't know what you guys want to call it. It's not going to be none of that. And then after that, boom, we go to the our season defining game against Sociedad, and we dispatched them 4-0, 4-1. Come on. I mean, it's been madness. All right. Of course, we have one game remaining on Sunday versus Leicester. And listen, we've played Leicester many times right now. Maybe like this is our fourth, maybe? Is it? Yeah. So we know Leicester. We know what they can offer. Ruben Amorim in his press conferences, listen, we're definitely not going to set up the same way we set up with Sociedad to play Leicester. Because Leicester, obviously, Premier League team, physical, they know how we operate and stuff like that. So it's going to be a different challenge. So Ruben Amorim said, listen, we're gonna set up differently. Obviously, he definitely did big up Heaven. He said, listen, if Evan continues playing like this, he's going to get game time, right? Because the kid is comfortable. But of course, Ruben Amorim said, listen, he's young. He will need time to get to that level, right? So that's good. We should expect Maguire to be back, I think, for that Leicester game. Manu Ugarte, he did not play yesterday because, of course, of fitness, but I'm glad we did not need him. So I think we're going to see Ugarte again on Sunday, right? We're going to see Ugarte on Sunday. So, again, honestly, right now, when it comes to the Premier League, whatever, right? I'm not really bothered so much that, if we lose, it's going to be the end of the world kind of thing. I'm not going to be that, right? It's not going to be the end of the world because right now it's eyes on the prize, right? It is eyes on the prize right now. Because our prize is us getting to that final, right? Our prize is us getting to the final of the Europa. You know what I mean? That is it. That is all we are focused on. So we shall see. Let's see what else is going on. So according to reports, Manchester United's final offer for Kobbie Mainoo is 130K a week without Champions League, 150K a week with Champions League football. Bonuses based on goal contribution. Take it or leave it. That is what we see in the reports. This is interesting. All right, very interesting. Of course, we know that Mainoo's contract is being negotiated right now. They're trying to resolve that. Definitely, Menu needs a price like a salary hike, right? Because the man has been pretty decent, you know. So yeah, 130. I think it's a lot. I would have given him less than 100, right? But we shall see if he takes it. So Thiago Motta on Joshua Zirkzee a year ago, he said his idols are Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Gabriel Batistuta, who are two excellent players. But seeing him day to day, he reminds me of Ronaldinho, who I played with at Barcelona. This is according to Thiago Motta. Right, Thiago Motta, that's what he said about Joshua Zirkzee. Idol, Zlatan, Gabriel Batistuta. Right? But you can see the silky moves of Ronaldinho. This guy is, as a 6+ footer, the way he handles the ball is ridiculous. Right? It's ridiculous. So I kind of agree there with Thiago Motta. All right. According to David Ornstein, he says, I expect Manchester United to make a number of signings this summer, and it is unlikely that any of them will stay with their current club, as Chelsea did with Giovanni Quenda. Right? So it means that whatever United they're going to try to approach, yeah, they'll be coming. We cannot afford to do one of those moves that, oh, you know what, go ahead and stay there. We'll come and get you next season. No. All right. Also, right wing back position may not be at the top of their summer agenda. Right? This is according to the man himself. You know, when it comes to these transfer situations, you got David Ornstein, Fabrizio, tier 1 operators. Right? This is according to David Ornstein. Whenever they make statements like this, it means someone has briefed them from the clubs, right? David Ornstein did say something about Quenda. United were talking about Quenda. They were trying to bring Quenda because he was briefed that way. But we couldn't get him because, obviously, money situation. And we needed Quenda now. It didn't work out for us. So Ornstein, Fabrizio, all of them reported this in the January window, whatever, right? So whenever you hear Ornstein saying, I expect Manchester United to make a number of signings this summer, and it is unlikely that any of them will stay with their current clubs, as Chelsea did with Quenda, and right wing back position may not, I agree, may not be at top of their summer agenda, right? So it means that this guy is usually briefed. Clubs, they brief top tier journalists because of their credibility, right? This type of information, whenever you hear this type of information from the like Lockhurst and those kind of reporters, yeah, you got to take it with a grain of salt because they're usually not briefed like that, right? This is because basically Ornstein, he's putting his career, name, and everything to statements like that. That is a big statement, right? Because all of us were like, okay, cool. We got a left wing back sorted. We got 2 players coming out of there, Diogo Leon. They can probably do the job on that left hand side. Right now, we're all thinking, okay, you know what? Dalot is not really that guy. So we need to focus on bringing someone to deal with the right wing back situation, right? That's what everybody was talking about Giovanni Quenda, right? Whenever you have proper wing backs on both sides, they stretch the team, right? They stretch, and we're able to operate differently when we go into attack, right? So this is must be valid information. So yeah, so that's very interesting, right? So guys, again, drop in the chat if you have suggestions on who United should be going for instead of Giovanni Quenda, which we lost. Other reports: Jadon Sancho could return to Manchester United next season if Chelsea go against with the obligation by paying a fee, right? What is Ornstein saying there? Ornstein is saying the deal for Sancho to Chelsea was obligation to buy. Obligation to buy means that, listen, whatever happens, if certain criteria they're met, you are going to keep the guy, right? And so the only that obligation part, if Chelsea finished below 15th, then the kid Jadon Sancho will be coming back home. But they're not going to finish below 15th, right? So, but obviously, Chelsea realized that dude is a dud. And that's what the advantage of taking these players on loan, to test them out. You test before you buy, right? So, Chelsea have tested Sancho. And they're like, yo, he's not it. So what do? Do we pay the 25 million? Or we pay the fine? So it sure does suck, people. It sucks. Now I don't know what fine. What is the fine? Because obviously contracts were signed, right? Now, if I don't know, the fine is 5 million. Chelsea may be willing to pay the 5 million instead of paying 25, right? But if the fine is 20 million, then okay, fine. We'll take that. We'll take the 20 million, and then the kid can come back, and then we'll figure out what to do with him. It's one of those. It's gonna be interesting, right? Let's see. One second. I just want to ask you. Oh, okay. I need to do this. So let me see. I'm just curious. Do you want Sancho back at United? I dropped a little bit of a poll there, man. Do you want Sancho back at United? Yes or no? Simple. Because listen, one thing you got to remember, Sancho can actually, he can actually work in Ruben Amorim's system, right? He can actually work in Ruben Amorim's system. He can. But do we want him back? Do I want him back? Absolutely not. I don't. But again, it could be one of those situations where you have no choice. He is our player. If Chelsea pulled the trigger, he's coming home. And we may be seeing him in the summer, as we prepare for next season, which will be a disaster. Whenever you think that you've gotten rid of trash. I don't want to use trash, but when you feel like you've got rid of these paying or overpaid players that don't work in your system, whatever it is, and they come back, then that is a problem. But listen, Lyon defender Musa Nikhate on facing Manchester United in the Europa League quarterfinals, he says, listen, we are not going there to make videos or watch Old Trafford, but to qualify. We have the squad to cause them problems. We are here to go all the way. Listen, the defender, the man is believing they can do it, right? He's believing he can do it. So we shall see. All right, we shall see. Dude, he said, listen, we're not here just to take videos, man. Because I know we're gonna be there at the big Old Trafford and all. We're not gonna there be like these selfies and all this stuff. No, we're not gonna do that. We're there to go all the way. Fabrizio Romano on Ruben Amorim talking about Mason Mount. I think Mason Mount can go on the bench this weekend, so we shall see if Mason Mount makes the bench. If he's fit, I'm going to take him. Okay, he cannot play too many minutes, but just 5 minutes of Mason Mount is perfect, right? So, guys, let's be on the lookout when we do our lineup. We could definitely see Mason Mount holding bench for that game against Leicester on Sunday, right? Which will be pretty good to see, right? Because definitely we need Mason Mount, because he's gonna feel like a new signing for most of us, right? It's gonna feel like a new signing, so we shall see. So according to reports, right, Manchester United have already earned approximately 21.2 million in prize money for this year's Europa League. Good money. Okay, they will receive an additional 3.54 million if they reach the semifinals. More money in the bank. Okay, an additional 5.9 million if they finish runners up, and an additional 14.3 million if they win. Guys, money all the place. All right. Kamhari, really? You said to change your name, man. Southgate, how do you feel about Tuchel's first England squad? And are you emotional looking at this England setup with manager not being you? Interesting question. Who is Kamhari, man? Southgate. Is that your account again, man? You guys be changing names all the time. But interesting. The lineup, the England team is very interesting. Of course, Kyle Walker. There's some names in there that I'm like, okay. Dan Burn. Yeah, listen. I'm curious to see how they're gonna play. Of course, the midfield is gonna be pretty good. Jude Bellingham and them. But Jordan Henderson, how is Jordan Henderson still with the team, man? You know, how is that possible? How is that possible? Because I was thinking, you know what? Tuchel is going to be revolutionary. Say, listen, I'm going to be playing players that they can definitely play my system and all this stuff. I thought we were going to see some really different players, but you know, we're seeing mostly pretty much the same type of players that we should expect in the England national team. So that's pretty interesting. Let's see what else we got. According to Fabrizio Romano, Manchester United wanted Giovanni Quenda to join the club immediately. He was considered an important part of the conversation for Ruben Amorim in this summer transfer window. All right, so guys, this was no joke. Quenda was definitely part of the conversation at United. All right. Oh no, I didn't see that. The United women lost today. Was it a cup competition? Kamixi, what up, man? welcome. All right. I did not see that. So of course, with Quenda coming in, right? I don't see Chelsea keeping Sancho, right? I don't see them, because honestly, if Quenda is going to be operated as a winger, you know, he's a kid that can actually do the Sancho deal. So you are like, okay, forget about Sancho, man. Send him back, play the fine, and let's move on. All right, I see Norwich is at it again. That's what's up, Norwich. Let's see. Bruno Fernandes. Guys, let's talk about Bruno. If you know, you know, man. It's one of those kid movies. Bruno had an offer in an interview that he did yesterday. He had an offer from the Saudi Arabia, right? According to Fabrizio Romano. So Bruno, last summer before he got his deal, he had an offer to leave, right? So the money was on the table, but he met with the ownership and said, "Listen, let me know what is your plan with the team, right? If you don't see me as part of the plan for this rebuild that you're trying to do, let me go. All right. I do have offers from a few places. I'll go." But the ownership, Sir Jim, Ineos, they say, "Listen, we consider you as part of the cog to rebuild this team that we're trying to do." All right. So they offered him the contract. He signed, obviously, because he loves the club. He agreed to stay. Right. But Bruno had offers to bounce. Okay. Big money offers too. But he decided to stay. Amorim is very happy with Maguire performance and leadership, but he's 32, and that's one of the factors being considered during internal conversation. Meanwhile, the coach loves Euro, his quality and potential, same as De Ligt. But yeah, Bruno Fernandes is that guy. All right, he's the guy that the ownership believe that he can help us rebuild. All right. Nuno owns Pep Guardiola. Yep. Facts. There you go. Let's see what else we got. There's some reports that this according to Fabrizio Romano, in recent days, Manchester United have started to seriously consider and discuss bringing one more center back this summer. United directors have started making calls to inquire about players' availability. Right? So we are going to get another center back. All right? We are going to get another center back. It makes sense because we're losing Lindelof. We got to replace him. With injuries that can happen anytime, we got to replace him. All right? So it's one of those. It's one of those. And again, guys, yesterday, Anthony, the GOAT, did what he does. He scored. Anthony scored once again for Real Betis. All right, in their 4-0 win against Vitoria SC. Big ups for Anthony, man. We like to see that, Anthony. If you missed this goal, I'm gonna drop it in the Discord, people. If you haven't joined our Discord community, I don't know what you're doing. You got to join our Discord community, man. Join the Discord where we're over there sharing stuff. We're trying to build it. So it's still in the building stages. So you could be one of those, originators. You could be one of those goats, right? Of the channel. You can be like, yo, I was there when we were trying to get the Discord community up and running. But yo, so that's that. Guys, what do you guys think about yesterday, man? Dorgu telling the ref that, listen, it wasn't a penalty, man. It wasn't a penalty. What do you think about that? What do you guys think about that? I think the kid's honesty was pretty admirable for him to do that. Norwich is saying, say full message. Luther, what message am I saying? What is it? Tony to what am I saying? I missed it. Put the message again, Norwich. What do you want me to say, man? Let me know. All right, let's see what else is going on before we jump out of here, people. Ruben Amorim on Mason Mount being on the bench versus Leicester. If he's fit, I'm going to take him. Just 5 minutes of Mason Mount is perfect. Dude, you can see that Ruben Amorim is desperate to get Mason Mount up and running, right? He's desperate. And if he can build him slowly to get him where he needs to be, he's going to do that. And big up to him, man. I hope, because if Mason Mount can stay fit until the end of the season, dude, honestly, I think he's going to give us another dimension, right? Something that we don't have right now at all, right? So this is good. Soccer Edits, what's going on, man? Welcome. Smash that like, man. Hit that subscribe if you've been done so already. All right, welcome. Good to have you. So listen, Ruben Amorim reportedly wants to offload 10 Manchester United players this summer. That is crazy. All right, 10 of them. So, rumor is it's Rasmus, Casemiro, Eriksen, Mason Mount, Anthony, Jadon Sancho, Marcus, Johnny Evans, Tom Heaton, and Victor Lindelof. All right, so 10, that is a lot. All right, 10 is a lot, because if you do 10, you want to replace 10. We're not going to bring 10 players in here. All right, we're not going to do that. So it wouldn't make sense for us to make those kind of moves. Rasmus, yeah, I don't see him moving. Mason Mount, I don't see him moving, even though he's on the list. It's not moving. Right? Who else? Casemiro? Yeah, Casemiro ain't going nowhere, man. Because nobody's gonna come and give Casemiro the money that he wants. Right? Nobody's gonna do that. So I think Cass is gonna stay. And the manager did confirm, like, he's now finding a way on how he can deploy Casemiro effectively, right? Using his strength. Instead of having him pressing the ball, have him chill, low block, defending kind of thing. So again, you're going to use Casemiro in certain games. Like the game like yesterday, where you knew that you're going to do some defending. He's good sitting back. Even the Arsenal game, low block, he's good sitting back. But whenever you're playing different teams where you have to kind of be more on the front foot, Cass is not your guy. So that's when you have Collier, Ogarts, and stuff like that. So he's understanding the team. We saw that he's understanding how to use Joshua Zirkzee, how to deploy him in all this stuff. So he's learning, right? Which is good. He's telling us that he's understanding his team now. Now, the only thing is, we just hope he doesn't understand the team too much, because the ownership may be like, you know what, man, dude, you're able to work with these cats, then we don't need to put so much money into your team. I hope it doesn't, but we shall see. So, in other reports, Manchester United officials are advancing interest in Braga's Roger Fernandez and have previously earmarked him as one of the several alternatives to Giovanni Quenda. All right. Should United proceed with an approach for Roger, they are confident in financially stable package, including a reasonable salary with scalable growth through performance and related add-ons. So obviously, you have targets, right? You have your number one target, Quenda, and then you have to have the second, third, fourth. You go down the line like that. Quenda, gone. Cross him off, right? So now you're going to go to the next one that you're looking at. So this kid, Roger Fernandez, it could be that guy. Have I seen him? Nope. Do I know anything about him? Nope. But listen, if he could be the guy to kind of help us out in that left, right-hand side, listen, I trust Ruben Amorim and his talent identification. Imagine if Sancho rejoined us and became the Sancho at Dortmund. Southgate? I wouldn't hold my breath, though, because Ruben Amorim is very demanding, right? Now, you can be optimistic and say, you know what? Ruben Amorim is not Ten Hag. Maybe Sancho may come in and, really step up his game. But again, we've seen it all with Sancho. We're not going to see anything different. That's why a lot of us were okay to let him go, right? He's not going to give us anything different. He's going to play the same way, right? He's going to play the same way. He's not going to give it his all. He's going to create that issue in the dressing room, which there's a reason why the ownership was allowed him to go to Chelsea, right? Rivals, right? Listen, whenever ownership allows a player to go to the rivals, it means, listen, they don't care about you, right? They'll be like, listen, whatever it is, we'll roll the dice. So it's one of those. We shall see. I hope he doesn't come back, man. South it's Kamexi 114. Enzo Maresca sees Giovanni Quenda as a perfect player to be a winger in the future. Playing 1v1 is what Quenda wants to do. So that's another thing, guys. Quenda wanted to do the whole 1v1 thing. All right. The player didn't want to be a wingback as Manchester United wanted or were offering. So Chelsea were pushing a lot on this point, right? That is a game changer. That right there. Because honestly, if we brought this kid in, this kid will be a wingback no matter what. All right. And the kid probably feels like, listen, it's about time I move on, right? It's about time I develop to a different baller. Kiyoshi! Wagwan! Welcome, man. How you doing? All right. What are your thoughts on Giovanni Quenda, man, going to Chelsea? Man United. So Man United among the list of clubs eyeing up a potential 40 million transfer for Southampton wonder kid Tyler Dibbling. There you go. That is one of those alternatives that we all knew. Tyler Dibbling is that guy, Kiyoshi's like at Chelsea. I know, man. Chelsea knew that we're going for this guy. But of course, United being United, loudmouth and all, folks know what we're going for. So they can always intercept it, And yeah. Listen, one thing I can say is big up to Chelsea, man. Chelsea don't mess around. They know what they want and they just go for it and execute. For us, we need to nickel and dime, trying to find solutions. And of course, for us, in order for us to concretely make a deal for Quenda, we needed to have someone leave, right? Based on the money they were offering, and Quenda also wanted United wanted him now. Sporting wanted him to stay for another season. So there you have it. Let's see what else is going on, man. Let's see what else is going on before we jump out of here, people. How many players those guys need? I know. Right now they have like freaking 200 players, man. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, right? It is absolutely ridiculous what they're doing. And I don't know how is it possible to make those kind of moves. But Chelsea's doing it. Right? They're doing it. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But it's happening. Yeah, man. But listen, it is what it is. We move on. There's always another player. Because next thing in the next couple of days, we're gonna hear a replacement for Quenda who's just as good, right? Because that's how the story goes, right? Right now we're like, okay, man, Quenda was our guy, but he's not. All right. And the next thing we're gonna hear, you know what? Obviously, everybody was talking about Tyler Dibbling, but of course, Dibbling is gonna cost us quite a bit of money, right? So we shall see, people. We shall see. Let's see what else is going on. Let's see. I see a report here from Luca Cercione, a reporter, I think, in Italy, saying Manchester United are progressing with a move to sign Victor Osimhen. Napoli coach Antonio Conte is a big fan of Rasmus Højlund, who could be included in the deal. All right. So take it with a grain of salt. I do not believe this story at all. Right now, if you tell me all these big names that we're linked with them, it's not going to happen. We do not have money. How are we going to make these deals? Sahin Limik, Ramadan Mubarak. Gala is bigger. I think Oshman should stay. Sahin Limik. Sahin, let me tell you something, man. Man United is a big club. Biggest club in the world. So, right now, Oshman is thinking about going to United. If we give him the right money, especially if United qualify for the Champions League, it is on and popping. All right. Sahin, smash that like, man. Hit that subscribe. Hit that notification bell if you've done so already. I am Luther. I appreciate you being here. All right. People, smash that like, man. But yeah, it's been one of those, man. People, happy Friday, man. I don't know, depending on where you're watching, is it still Friday? Is it Saturday? Let me know, man. Let me know. Kiyoshi saying Sky Sport might be the main culprit. Yeah, he could very well be. It could very well be. It could very well be that is the case. In a positive note, man, our boy Matthias de Ligt, I see that he was called up for their national team, right? Initially, he was excluded, right? Koeman was like, yo, he needs to play better and all this stuff. All of a sudden now, he's like, yeah, you know what? Forget what I said. Join the team. Because listen, de Ligt has been balling out of control, right? So I'm glad that he got called up. But again, I was also happy that he didn't get called up to the national team because less injuries. Right now, we cannot afford any more injuries, right? So I was cool him staying home. But, hey, what happens is when you play well, your football dictates on how people view you. So, hey, big up to him. Jared Brentwaite, Everton wanted 75 million. Ineos was like, nah, too expensive. They went ahead and snapped Aiden Heaven from Arsenal for a whopping 1 million. Come on, man. That is an amazing deal right there. And one thing I can say about this kid, Hayden Heaven, his composure is a different level. Composure is a different level, and I think Heaven is going to be one of those players that we're going to be like, wow, how did we sign this guy for 1 million? Right? It's going to be one of those people. All right? In other reports, this is interesting. Apparently, I thought Neymar was part of the Brazil national team, but according to reports, Neymar has been, this is according to Fabrizio Romano, Neymar has been left out of Brazil's squad for the upcoming games, and he won't play against Argentina. Ederson, Danilo, and Neymar leave their place with Luca Perry, Alex Sandro from Flamengo, and Endrick, Real Madrid, they will take their spaces. Interesting. I wonder what happened to Neymar, man. I was boosted for him to be called for the Brazil national team, I was like, okay, this dude must be fit and he can perform again, So, very, very interesting. Ruben Amorim says Kobe Mainu could return in the next few weeks. Guys, get ready. Kobe Mainu could be back in the next few weeks. Kiyoshi is saying Heaven and Dogu cost us 25 mil. Ridiculous. Right? Bargain. And that's why I'm saying sometimes I'm trusting Ruben Amorim's player identification and knowing what he needs. Right? Fine. We're losing on Quenda, or we lost on Quenda. But I'm sure whoever's going to be the next player brought in, he's going to do a job. Right? That's it. Because I think at one point we need to go with that thing like, listen, we're going to forget about big names and all these players who have already splashed and did whatever they did. We need those unknowns, whatever. Players who come in like a Dogu. Nobody knew about Dogu. Dogu is a fighter, right? We want more of them in a team. Because when you have more of them, like I cannot say nobodies, but really players who want to fight, who are fighting for their next contract and the next contract, then we are gonna ball, right? So I'm happy with that. So yeah, it sucks that we lost Quenda because Quenda is young and he had a lot of potential, but we move on. Kiyoshi saying he has done it again. Neymar's sister's birthday is near. Just oh dang. Okay, makes sense. Ikram Erami, hello, all the way from Morocco. What's going on? Good to have you here, man. Ikram, let us know what team you support. Smash that like, hit that subscribe if you haven't done so already. Ikram, welcome. All right. That is your price of admission, man. I do have quite a few friends from Morocco. My African family right there. That's what's up. Good to have you. Welcome. Let's see what else is going on. Thomas Tuchel on selecting Rashford. This was a really big surprise, I think, right? Rashford back in the England fold. Big up to him, man. I cannot wait. You know what I usually like to see? England, when it comes to the national teams, man, England is one of my teams, right? I love watching England because I watch the Premier League, right? So England is my team. So I like to see when the players come into the England training facility, right? When they come in, they pull up and the doors open, they come out, they grab their gear and take pictures. I always find that very interesting because the first time they get into I forgot the name, St. George, I think, the training facility, when they come in and then everybody, they come in, they give the host, how you're welcome back, that it's such a good feeling because, you are representing your country. You get to your meeting spot for the team. You're there. Like I'm sure it feels good because there's a whole bunch of players in all these leagues, but you were chosen to represent your country. It's a big honor. So I always find that very interesting when they come in. So I know I'm going to be watching to see Rashi's reaction being back with the team after being away for so long. And also it shows like, listen, sometimes, hard work pays off too, because it looks like Rashi going to Villa, he worked hard. He had a bunch of assists, right? And he got his call up, And one thing we know about Rashi, man, Rashi has quality. He has quality. He just needs to want to deliver that quality, right? He needs to want it. And I think at Villa, he feels like, okay, I have another chance here. And it can see the big picture. The big picture is that World Cup, right? He wants to make that World Cup team. And if he wants to make the World Cup team, he needs to ball out of control, right? Now, I don't know why he couldn't use that to motivate him at United, right? Which is pretty crazy. Being a Manc born and bred, that is your home. Old Trafford United, that's your home. You couldn't do it at home, but you're able to do it at Villa. It's very strange. But at the end of the day, I am not complaining, people. I want him to do great. I'm going to be chanting for Rashi. I'll be like, go Rashi! Because listen, in the summer, we want him gone. We'll take the money. All right? Pure profit, baby. That's what we want to do. All right, so big up Rashi. Obviously, next game, Man United face on in the Europa League. Lyon. Lyon, they have Lacazette. Okay? Lacazette is going to be a problem. And they also have this one ex-Man United player, which I thought he was retired. Nemanja Matic. Right? So we're going to be facing Nemanja Matic, man. It's going to be interesting, of course. He's not a danger guy. He's going to be sitting in that the bottom of that midfield, whatever, if he starts or whatever. But Lacazette, and they do have other weapons. So listen, it's not going to be a cakewalk, Leon. But I think 2 legs, we should be able to dispatch him. All right, we should be able to dispatch him for sure. But one team that I don't want to face, Athletic Club. I do not want to face Athletic Club. Our destiny could be heading towards them straight on, because Athletic Club, they have Nico Williams and his brother Inaki. I don't want to face them people, man. They are ballers. They will create problems for us. But let's not look so far ahead. One game at a time. All right. Kiyoshi said, listen, I don't want to face Frankfurt. Really? Who do they have? Who does Frankfurt have? For me, Athletic Club, man. Nico and his brother, man. I don't want to deal with them. Let's see what else. Yeah. I see reports that Matthias de Ligt has been called up for the Netherlands squad for the Nations League quarterfinals after originally being left out of the preliminary squad. Low-key wouldn't have minded him getting the international break off. Yeah, me too. I wouldn't have minded being left out. That way he rested. But, initially left out. The manager says, oh, he needs more to play better, blah, 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 blah. And then now the Netherlands manager is like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I'm an idiot. I made a mistake. Call the kid. Come on, man. It's ridiculous. But you know what? I hope he doesn't get injured and he goes out there, does his thing, and come back healthy. All right. Let's see what else we got going on. Let's see. All right. Anything else interesting here before we jump off? People, anything going on, man? Anything going on interesting that you want to drop in the chat before we bounce out of here? So, this is interesting. Look, Sporting are expecting to receive at least 63 million from Chelsea for Giovanni Quenda. The initial fee is 42 million, but there are further add-ons worth another 42 million minus 21 million, which are considered easily achievable. So, yeah, this makes sense that why we didn't get this guy, man. 62 mil on a kid that is unproven. Yeah, it wouldn't make sense. I see reports that Manchester United have ended their relationship with Jorge Mendes and are now looking to build a strong partnership with PNP Sport Management. 2 players of interest is Rodrigo Moura from FC Porto and Roger Fernandes from Braga. So interesting, because listen, it's very interesting because Jorge Mendes is, he's the GOAT when it comes to, he has his portfolio has all these big name players, right? Like Quenda is one of his. So I bet United was not too happy on how these things happen, right? Because whenever you establish a relationship, right, with Jorge Mendes, they probably told him, listen, we want to get Quenda, blah, 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 blah. They started negotiations and all this stuff. Maybe Jorge was supposed to say, United, listen, the way things are going, Chelsea, they may jump in here and Sporting may take the deal. I don't know. Maybe Jorge did not divulge that information because, again, his allegiances are with his client. And, United feel like they were kind of blindsided. So, listen, relationship done. What can you do? So, it is what it is, man. But, guys, let's end it here. You guys have been legends. Let's see. Kiyoshi saying Quenda might not get the playtime he wanted. Oh, of course, he's not going to get the playtime, Kiyoshi. He's not. Like, it's one of those which doesn't make any sense, right? I know. Chelsea, the only reason he's going to Chelsea is because Chelsea offered him to play as a winger. At United, he will be a wing back. He doesn't want to do that anymore, right? Which is frustrating. So Chelsea offered him that, and of course, Chelsea were willing to let him stay at Sporting for another season. United, we needed him now. So all those things were kind of working against us. Rafael, what's going on, brother? Ikram, where from? I'm in the United States, man. I'm in the Washington D.C. area. Rafael, what up? How you doing, sir? Respect to Bruno Fernandes, Ndogu, Hoyland, Nunez, 2-1, 2-0. So, yeah, man, it's one of those, man. It's one of those. It's interesting, man. But it is what it is. One thing I can say, listen, we move on. We're gonna, guys, let's strap in. We're gonna face a lot of these moments in this transfer window where everybody's going to be talking about, oh, United is going for him. United is going for him. And I'm going to be sitting here telling you what we see in the news. Ornstein, these main people talking about this stuff because we can only go with what is being reported, right? So I'm sitting here. I say these things, right? But sometimes I feel like these reporters don't know nothing, man. All right? They sometimes they say things, think that they know, and then things go the opposite way. Like this Quenda deal. Ornstein, who is the bomber kind of guy, like he's the man. Fabrizio is also the man. All of them, they were reporting United, the United talking to Quenda is going to United. Nobody said anything about Chelsea. No knowing Chelsea is on the background, sneaking, making deals on the background. So it is what it is, man. But people, happy Friday, happy Saturday, depending when you're watching. I appreciate you guys smashing those likes, hitting the subscribes. You guys are legends. I appreciate you as always, guys. Stay blessed. I will see you in the next one. Peace out. Take care, people. Peace.